Alrighty, so this is the question we've been really thinking about. Does Alabama have to win the SEC title game to ensure they are a playoff team for the 2025 season?
Hmm. I got an answer.
Let's
I
hear it.
believe they do. I honestly believe they do because they haven't afforded. I mean, they don't have any more space. They don't have a margin for error. They got to the 10 win mark of 10-2, but uh, they still have other teams around the country, closely ranked to them because you got BYU, who is Alabama's number 10 in the rankings. BYU is number 11 in the rankings, and they're 11-1. Alabama's 10-2. If BYU uh, goes to the Big 12 championship and they beat Texas Tech, that could be a problem for Alabama because Texas Tech is number 5 in the country, and they were to lose. They're 11-1 as well. If they were to lose, they would still be in the top 10 more than likely, but they would drop down. And obviously, if BYU were to win, they could over jump Alabama with them losing. That could be two Big 12 teams in the college football playoffs at the casualty of Alabama. So that's one reason why I believe that they must win over Georgia to ensure their spot. Another reason is just because we've seen this college football playoff committee be inconsistent with how they rank teams and things of that nature. They got a whole problem in the ACC right now, talking about Notre Dame and Miami. Uh, uh, Miami already beat Notre Dame this year, and Notre Dame has been ranked over them because they haven't lost since. And that's also another problem that could come into be coming to be a problem for Alabama is how they rank that situation. And the best thing to do is just win. Because if they win, they don't have to worry about anything. If they win, they could jump up as far as the number 3 seed in the college football playoffs and get that home bye, and they don't have to worry about all of this crazy stuff that got to happen. Plus, my last point on it, we haven't seen a 3-team college football. Uh, we haven't seen a 3-loss team in the college football playoffs. Last year, Alabama was a 3-loss team, and they didn't make it. Of course, they didn't have the resume that they have now, and then on top of that, they don't play an extra game and stuff like that in the conference championship. We got the Texas Longhorns that just who I mentioned earlier. They just beat Texas A&M, so they're 9-3, and they have a case to try to make the college football playoffs. They don't have a better case than Alabama, but that would just be you would just fall in that category with Texas, and you don't want to be in that category. I think winning out is just the best method overall for the Alabama Crimson Tide this Saturday inside the SEC championship, so they can ensure themselves a spot in the college football playoffs. So
Well, we had that head-to-head win over Vanderbilt, so that obviously keeps us in. So that really helps.
yeah, but then they have the group of five, the group of five in other conferences. That could be a James Madison, that could be a Texas Tech, and they gotta honor that. That's something the committee put in place to, try to make it more interesting for all fan bases across college football. And Alabama could be left out. They could be a casualty just because a group of five team is like they could be 11-1 versus a 10-3 Alabama team or a 12-1 group of five team versus a 10-3 Alabama team. Both James Madison and Texas Tech are both 11-1. Alabama is 10-2. So a group of five team could reap the benefit of Alabama losing. So you don't want to even be in that scenario. That's why I think this important is. I think this week is really important. I definitely believe they have to win because, like I said earlier, that we haven't seen a loss team in the college football playoff. The floor has obviously been 10-2 or higher, so they got to win. Third loss definitely sinks their chances.
Well, we definitely don't want to be losing to Georgia, obviously, no doubt. And it's just such a cluster. This whole playoff field, like, oof, like the ACC champ alone. Like, if Duke was winning the ACC.
and that's crazy.
I know
Duke
it.
is Duke is 7-5, and the fact that they have a chance to play in the college football playoffs with a win, they would get the automatic bid for the ACC, and they would get a first round bye at 8-5 versus Alabama being 10-3 and being left out. I mean, that's the spot that the college football landscape has been in. You know, with the expansion of the college football playoffs, they're still trying to get it right on year two. It's unfortunate that that has to happen, but that's the world that we live in. So Alabama, I just like I said, they got to take advantage of what's in front of them. They have beaten this Georgia team before. Kellen DeBoer has 2-0 versus Kirby Smart, so they got to win honestly because we got other teams that could potentially reap the benefit of them losing, literally. So and plus on top of that, they're on the bubble anyway. They're the number 10 ranked team in the country. You know, it's only 12 spots. Basically, six teams have already clinched their spots. I mean, not officially, but they're clinched it. Indiana, Ohio State, Texas Tech could be in even if they lose. Texas A&M's going to be in. Ole Miss is going to be in. So that's already five teams right there. It's 12 spots. So and on
Georgia's
top,
in either way.
yeah, Georgia's in either way. That's enough. See, so Georgia's in either way. So Alabama's got to win. You know, you don't want it to be Selection Sunday and you depended on the committee to give you the nod. You know,
No.
Alabama was in that spot last year, and we saw how that played out. But then again, we've seen some committee saying that they won't punish the conference championship loser. It just depends on how they play the game, if they play them close or not. But you just want to win. You want to win, so you don't have to put it in the hands of nobody else. You win, you know you're in. You lose, that's a frustrating 12 to 20 hours. Because the championship game is Saturday at 6 o'clock, Selection Sunday the next day. So that's
Yeah,
tough.
I mean, like, if this game is going to overtime, then I think obviously we're in. I think we're in, but it's like you said, you don't want to put that in the committee's hands where you're hoping you're in, just crossing your fingers, closing your eyes, hoping that you're in. But
Yeah,
also, we're win and you're in. That's pretty much simple. It's like how it was last Saturday. Win against Auburn, you're in the SEC title game. This Saturday, it's win and you're in. You lose, you can still get in, but once again, don't put it in the committee's hands. Like if you're the SEC title runner up or the Big Ten title runner up, you're in. The Big 12 title runner up, the AC title runner up does not have that luxury. But once again, don't put yourself in a position where you're hoping that members of the committee are going to put you in. Don't put yourself in a position like take the doubt out of the committee's hands.
yeah, and another interesting thing, it'll be interesting to see how the college football committee ranks Notre Dame tomorrow versus Alabama. Alabama, they finished at 10-2. Notre Dame finished at 10-2. Notre Dame has been over Alabama the last 2 weeks, but we saw some teams in front of them losing stuff like that. So it's really interesting to see how they'll rank that. Alabama has a stronger resume than Notre Dame, and a lot of people have pointed that out. It's really been a game to see how close Miami can get to Notre Dame to see if they can be in the same cluster because we've seen the college football committee use that term cluster. How can these teams be in the same cluster? So um, it's really going to be interesting to see how Alabama ranks and where Texas A&M drops because Texas A&M lost. They were at number 3, so I would believe no. I would believe Ole Miss would benefit because Ole Miss was right behind them and Ole Miss won. So Texas A&M probably falls to 7. Um, Oklahoma won. Oklahoma's going to be ahead of Alabama. That is what that
That's
is.
another lock.
Yeah, yeah. Oklahoma is another lock. So You see, the spots are dwindling down. So Alabama, them winning, the question of them is, should they, does Alabama have to win to ensure a playoff, to ensure they're a playoff team? I'm about 97, 98% sure yes. Unless, like you said, the game goes to overtime or they lose on like a field goal or like a last second crazy play or something like that. I believe Alabama has to win outright. Like you said, don't want to put in the hands of the committee at all. We don't trust these people. I don't trust these people at all. So
Yeah,
that's where I am at with it.
there you go, man. There you go. Don't put it in the committee's hands. Don't do it. Just don't do it.